What's up, everybody? My name's Dejan. Welcome to No Guards Needed show and the podcast where we talk about who we are, what we are, how we got there, all that good stuff. Today, I'm with my boy Adbeel. I've been cutting his hair for a while now, man. I've really been wanting to get him in the chair. Great dude. I love his vibe. Business owner, immigrant, coming from immigrant parents as well. I mean, he's had such a journey from coming from that situation to going to college, to going out of state, helping a business gain craziness, to starting his own business, to staying local here in Texas. I mean, YouTube shows, I mean, all of this stuff. It's super awesome. So I can't wait to get into it. All right, man. So I gave you your introduction. So how would you go ahead and introduce yourself to the crowd?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my name is Adbeel. Man, you did do your research on me.
I told you.
I know every week, when you're getting me my haircut, snipping and all that kind of stuff, we do talk about a little bit about me, but I don't think I go into depth about really what's got me here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, absolutely. Just a guy born from Michigan and, from Hispanic immigrant family. And just, man, I don't know if my life is that interesting, but it's a lot of, if there's a word for it, it's just constantly working, constantly trying to improve myself and be the best version of myself. And I think that's what I can talk about. That's what I think I can really help maybe someone that's watching today. It's just like what got me to where I'm at. I'm not saying I'm, something, but at least what I am something, maybe my story can give, ideas or give inspiration or give something.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully I can do something for it.
Hell yeah. I already know. That's why you're sitting in that chair. All right, man. So just kind of just start off soft and start off small, get people to get introduced to know who you are. Yeah. So for people who don't know you, who haven't seen this, who are watching this, who don't know you, who are you outside of Wolf Steel?
I don't know. The other day we were talking about am I introverted or I'm extroverted? But outside of work, I feel like I'm an introvert. I just like being by myself a lot. I like working out. I like improving myself. I like reading. I like watching TV.
Hell yeah.
Just shows and things that are just changing and elevating my mind, or just opening up my mind a lot. I love to have a couple drinks on the weekend and a nice meal after a hard work a week. And I love my family. I love my parents. I love my father. I love my dad, my mom. Yeah. Those are the best, because even when I go with my dad only wants to be out in the farm or in the ranch. So if I got to invite him, I can't invite him to come out to have, dinner over in the city. No.
Yeah.
I can't invite him out to let's go and watch something together. He's not that. My dad is always wanting me to meet him at the ranch, which is an hour and a half away from here. We're either going hunting, we're either going do some manly stuff that my dad is wanting to do, which I like, because it's different because I live in the city right now.
Yeah.
And, so that's really my life, man. There's nothing more, because the business takes up a lot.
For sure, bro.
Takes up a lot, and it's a lot of responsibility. Luckily, I'm getting to the stage in the business where I really more have a job now. You could say I go in at a certain time, I come out at a certain time. There's a team already that can really help me, and I can now live a little bit more of a stable life.
Hell yeah.
Which is now giving me open time to start thinking about the next, what is the next for my life, and what is it that I really want in the future.
Dude, okay, so I want to unpack a little bit of that. So when you're in the city, you're living your city life, right? And then you go out and when it comes to your family and stuff, which I love the fact that you're so into family. Everything you said, the family thing, that hit home, bro. I really love that. I unfortunately am probably not as close as my family as I'd like to be, but that's just, that's how my life played out, right? So I love that. So when you go out when you go out about that hour and a half to the ranch with your pops, outside of like the hunting and stuff like that, do you guys, are you able to sit back and like kind of conversate and kind of talk about like life and stuff like that? Or how does your guys' relationship evolve outside of that?
Oh, that's such a great question, man. I think Hispanic people in general might relate with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Here, growing up, my dad was more focused on like trying to push my mindset and like keeping me like working hard and like I used to play a lot of soccer. So that's also something I do outside of work. I still play soccer. I'm getting older, but I love the game. And
you gotta tell them knees to shut up.
No, that's the opposite. Thank you for asking. It's just right now, just getting my mind going really, really well. But yeah, your question regarding my dad, it's actually really hard to connect with him. I think the way he was raised, and I always try to ask him how he was raised, but I actually get more insights from my mom. It's like my dad was kind of raised more in the sense of like, just shut up, put your head down, get to work. Your feelings don't matter. You know, if you speak about feelings, you're probably, low on testosterone or something, you know?
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
So in a way, my dad is that way. It was really hard to even ever say, I love you.
Man.
I was the one that stepped up.
Yeah.
I think I'm the one that stepped up to my dad and said, Dad, I love you, man. I love you. I just want you to know that. We never said to each other. His I love you is like is the
pat
nice
on the
pat
back.
on the back.
Yeah.
It's a different love language, right?
Heard.
And so I broke that by just really expressing it, because a lot of times, life is going and you see a lot of things that happen, like an accident or like, on the news and stuff. It's like, man, we just got to enjoy them right now.
Absolutely.
And we got to say we got to say really that feeling, so that way when they're gone or anything, at least in your mind and your peace that you did everything you could
to express yourself,
to enjoy the relationship.
Dude, that's so huge. That is a very common thing that I've heard, especially in Hispanic culture. I've seen everything that you say makes like a lot of sense, right? Okay. Because the work ethic that that stereotype, like, oh man, Hispanics work real hard. Well, it's not, it's true. Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense because, as you said, your father just instilled with you, work hard, do your job, get it done. And I also can say that it's also kind of a generational thing too, right? Because my pops is better at saying I love you. He was also raised he's like one dude with 6 sisters, so he got told I love you all the time. Right? And he's a pastor, so he's a little bit more open with that. But still, it's not very often, right? Like I have to say, even today, like if we're on the phone, I have to be like, love you, man. And he'll be like, oh yeah, I love you too. Like, oh, I forgot that.
So like from my perspective, I really haven't really engaged in depth with other ethnicities, being very transparent.
Yeah, no, I love that, dude.
So I really don't have a lot of insights on like other ethnicities.
Yeah.
Or other,
cultures and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure, dude.
I think I should do better there. I think more from my perspective, at least the people that I have surrounded myself has been a lot of Hispanic, and I'm able to connect with them. And I think that's why I kind of feel like the Hispanic, but I'm not sure. Maybe if there's comments, people can leave a comment and say, hey, I relate or not.
Yeah, absolutely. No, see, I love that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing is that, right? Yeah. Connecting and learning different things about different cultures, different stuff like that. And then the similarities, right? Because what you deal with, I get it too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I definitely know not my father-in-law. My father-in-law he is the biggest. He's like a monster, but he is the gushiest dude. Like, it's crazy. He's terrifying, but soft as hell. It's the craziest thing, dude. I love that guy. But his dad, same thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have a cousin that's like 60. This story actually made me super sad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. His name's Mike. He's my third cousin. He's probably like close to 70 right now, right? And when I was 12, I happened to live in his vicinity. And one day we were talking, And I was raised by women, so I'm always like, love you, love you, love you, love you. And I noticed that he never said that, right? And I was like, it would start hurting my feelings. I'd be like, what? And like, cause he would look, I'd say, I love you, Mike. And he'd just look at me. And then just walk away. I was like, But then we got into this conversation as I got older, and I brought that up, you know, because I'm not the type of if I care about you, I'm gonna ask. Yeah. Right. So I was like, "What's up?" And he was he told me, he was like, "Man," he goes, "Your Uncle Lim, he was my best friend. Like they were best friends. They did everything that you and your dad did together. They hunted. They went to the cabin. They dressed deer. They did, bowling, everything, everything. They were best friends, right?" And he was just like, till the day he died, they never said I loved you to each other. Ever. Wow. Ever. And I was like, oh, that shit kind of breaks my heart, dude. It made me sad. I was just like, just the thought of like loving your father for your entire life, him being your best friend, and you never exchanging those words together. Damn, I'm like, damn, that just like hurts my feelings, you know?
Yeah,
for them,
absolutely.
You know, I feel like for them, they're probably fine. You know, I've asked him about it. It's whatever. That's his life, right? He hasn't never experienced anything out of it. Yeah. But it's just like, you know, because we have experienced something out there, I look at that and I'm like, brother. I'm like, so I say I love him and I hug him all the time, make him feel weird as shit.
I believe you, actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll hug the fuck out of him, and he'll just be like, ah. For sure, dude. That's funny. I don't give a fuck. So, bringing it forward, man. So, take me back to Grand Rapids, and what did it look like before you moved to Texas?
Yeah, so I was born in Grand Rapids, and I was raised in a migrant farm. Mm-hmm. My parents immigrated from Mexico when, you know, I think back in the 80s. Oh, okay. So it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. My dad and my mom used to travel to like Florida, and they would like pick oranges in like certain weather, and then I think the winter. Okay. And then they'd move to Michigan in the summers for like picking apples, picking
that's wild,
asparagus,
dude.
Blueberries.
Did you do that too, or do you?
So this is what I love about my parents, and I think it's something that I'm gonna probably speak a lot about here. Mm-hmm. Is that you know, they were doing that while they didn't have me, and I'm the firstborn.
Got it.
And then the moment that my mom got pregnant, you know, my dad, they started thinking now, like they really started thinking, what can give me a stable life, you know, in childhood. So what they did was that they said, you know what, we're going to stay at the farm. They talked to the owner of the farm in Grand Rapids, like in the area of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And they worked all year round there. And so now when I was raised in a migrant farm, a home about like, probably like 500 square feet, 550, maybe 600 square feet home. Whoa. Yeah. The good news, it was rent free. It was provided by the farm, right? Heard. But it was a small home, and it wasn't big. And yeah, dude. I grew up, you know, 5 years old. I'm already picking apples. Nah, I'm just kidding. Not that extreme, right?
Get to work. Get your rent in, boy.
Yeah, no, not that much. I mean, I still had a cool childhood playing around with a lot of kids from the farms.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people moving from. They would come in the summer. They would work, and I would. They also had kids, and we would just play around in the camps. We call them migrant camps. But I did get to start working really early. My dad did, put me to do that. Yeah. When I'm like 10, 11 years old, I'm already like doing.
I got you.
Farm labor work.
Yeah. Now, what did you learn? Like, what exactly did that kind of teach you, if you can remember that young? Or did you realize as you got older that some part of yourself you can attribute to having to, you know, work and actually help sustain the family at such a young age?
During the time that I was actually working, because like obviously I would still go to school. My parents never took me out of school. Oh, that's okay. So I was still going to school. I would get off work and I'd still go work. Like off work, I mean, I'd get off school and then I'd still go work. So, and then in the summers, it was all about working. It was not like, you know, you go to a nice camp and you're having fun and no.
He's like, no, I went to a camp. It's fucking working. I went to camp work a lot.
I went to a different type of camp, right? So yeah, but at that time, I didn't really know why. You know, I would just see that other kids would get the fun stuff and I didn't get the fun stuff. I didn't get like the newest gadgets. We would go a lot to like yard sales or like yard sales.
Yeah,
like
you're right. Like garage sales or yard. Yeah, absolutely.
And I was always embarrassed. I was embarrassed because it's like I was getting the secondhand stuff of potentially classmates.
Yeah.
I was also like a lot of them. And I don't know why I was embarrassed, but it was just as a kid, I have no clue. And I still think, why would I be embarrassed? Because like now I'm not, you know. I was embarrassed of in the school bus, you know, all the people would be dropped off and like nice homes, or at least their own homes and like their own properties. And I'd get dropped off in a camp where you see like a bunch of houses, small little houses, and I'd be embarrassed.
I get that. That's understandable at a young age.
And especially like after 10, I started liking girls, you know, and
say less.
And you know, you get it's like,
oh, dang, girl. Oh,
yeah.
I hear that.
So I think all that has driven me to where I'm at right now.
Okay.
But at that time I didn't know. The only thing I did know was that I didn't want to be in that place.
Heard.
I didn't want to be working as a migrant farm laborer myself. Like I started to know that around like 11, 12 years old. Like,
okay.
And then the other big thing was that my dad always said that, hey, mijo, si no quieres estar aquí, if you don't want to be here, a chingarle, let's go work. And you're going to learn that if you work hard, you're going to get out of here and you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do and grow to be whatever you want to be.
Fuck yeah.
But I need you to learn that. At that time, you know, you're still a kid. You still want to go play. You know,
you're like, Dad, shut up. I want to go outside.
I want to go outside, or I want to hang out with my cousin.
Heck yeah. I heard that. I hear that, bro. I hear that. Yeah. I can definitely understand how that feels, because I remember I had a little bit of I had so I lived with my mom for a little bit, then I lived with my dad. Two completely different lifestyles, right?
Interesting.
And two completely different ways of living. Like, so living with my mom tried to give me, I think honestly, because I think she felt bad for the things that I lacked out of life.
Yeah.
Right? So she tried to give me everything that she thought I needed, which was material stuff, right? Because she was trying to fulfill a hole that she perceived that I had. At least that's what I think. You know what I mean? So, but moving with my pops there as a teen, I moved with my pops when I was like 13. I got into some trouble with my mom. So I moved over here when I was 13, here in Crowley, actually. And I remember my mom would always take me shopping at the beginning of the year to get the clothes and stuff like that. And I think, again, that's because she wanted to make sure that, you know, I was a single mom in the 90s. That still wasn't like super common, right? Yeah. So she was definitely trying to make my perception that everything was great and everything was fine and I had all the nice things, right? My pops, on the other hand, he didn't have that problem. You know? So I got here and I went from shopping for clothes to, I remember one year, he's like, all right, you ready to go get some clothes for school? And I was like, cool. And he brought me to a house and it had mounds of clothes. And he was like, here's a bag, go get your clothes. And I was just like, oh my God. I was just like my soul. And I just remember putting those clothes on and going to school and just feeling I was so embarrassed.
Really?
Bro. Oh my God.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah. It was so, I mean, it's like hindsight, it made me stronger because I had to go through it. It still sucked though. That shit still sucks. So I know what that feels like, man. And, you know, having kids realize that I was wearing secondhand clothes that were too big for me or something like that, bruh.
Especially as a kid, because I guess we don't really understand.
Well, kids are assholes, right?
Yeah.
Kids are mean as fuck. Kids are mean as fuck, bro.
It's crazy. I I don't ever remember being bullied or feeling like other kids were mean. I think it was just more me internally creating a like that. What would they think, or like what are they thinking about
So
me?
you were internalizing.
I was internalizing into this day, man. I still struggle with that.
I get it.
Like I put a like I think that other people are thinking this about me, and sometimes they're not even thinking about it. They don't even care, bro. Like they care less, you know?
Heard that.
They might even think it quick, but then they're moving on with their own thing, you know?
Totally understand that.
So it was all internal. I don't know if maybe from your perspective was that maybe you did get like, you know, some sort of, because I do hear a lot like that, like the bullying stuff and stuff. I don't think I ever got that. Or I never heard it because I am also hard of hearing. So I was born hard of hearing.
Yeah. So maybe they talk shit and you do that. You probably, that's like a blessing in disguise.
It is a blessing in certain ways, for real. Sure. Yeah.
But no, for me, man, I got picked on a lot because I went to 16 schools before I graduated high school.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. All across like multiple countries, multiple states. I was always the new kid. I was half black, half white when that wasn't very common. I had a very mixed culture. So I very much identify as a black man, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, my culture isn't what people stereotypical think of as a black man, right?
Yeah.
So I had to deal with that all the time. I was always the new kid too. So, and I was different because I grew up in different countries, right? So I was very different. And yeah, I got picked on like a motherfucker, bro. And I was small. You know, I was always a small kid. Like I didn't put on size until I was in my 20s. I was always tiny. So I was tiny, I was outspoken, and I was kind, and I wasn't afraid of anything. So yeah, I got picked on a lot, bro. I got slapped in the face a lot, bro.
So let me ask you a question. You know, I'm always analyzing, you know, obviously our upbringing shapes a lot of our today, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're always talking about lifting weights and working out. Because you were small as a kid and that happened to you, is that why, like, you know, you really got into like lifting weights and like because you didn't want to feel small and you
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Fuck
right.
yes.
And that's why you love the feeling of like, getting the pump.
Bro, fuck yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man, like I'm a kind guy, right? I just like being kind to people. And because I was small and kind, I got everybody mistook my kindness for weakness kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I have my best friend, my brother, Tony, he started lifting when we were 18 and he kind of disappeared for a few months for some reason. And then all of a sudden I saw him and he was huge. And I was just like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was 18. I was starting to like girls and stuff. And there was not starting to like girls, but I was 18. So I was out there like, you know, I was out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was out there. And I was just like, all right, I need to find a way, because I was cool. I noticed that girls liked to talk to me and I was funny and I was cool, but I was missing something and I didn't know what that was. So I started lifting and then I got a little muscle and then I was like, oh, well, shit. All right, bet. So then I put on a bunch of weight and then actually I joined the military and I deployed. And when I deployed, I started lifting and I put on a lot of weight and I got up to like 175, 180, which is the biggest I had ever been. Bro, I came back to the States and it was like, ching, 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 ching. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to stay this big.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro.
So totally, dude. My size and my lifting 100% comes because I need to fortify my own ego. Because I got picked on so much, I fucking hated it. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to get more of a presence.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of getting fucking picked on. And then I noticed that I could be kind and not get fucking tested. Because, dude, I would get tested all the fucking time. And I was just like, all right, I'm fucking over this. I need to figure this shit out. So once I put on size, I realized that I could be kind. I get respect from other dudes. I don't have to do the dumb shit. So yeah, I was just like, yep, all right, this is what I'm doing. And then it felt good too, right? Like I felt better. I felt good about myself. It was cool. I ended up becoming a personal trainer and bodybuilding. So yeah, so it just became part of my life at that point. Yeah.
That's amazing.
But totally.
But it makes sense. You know, it makes sense. Because now that I look back at this age that I'm at, where I'm at today has been from my raising. So Kind of going back to your question on like my father and like the connection. But at the same time, I think I appreciate him for putting me through the struggles, or at least allowing me to be a part of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So that way I wasn't, I'm not saying I would have been spoiled, or maybe I just wouldn't have the hunger. Yeah, well,
you're not adverse to hard work.
Mm-hmm.
So hard work doesn't put you off.
Nope.
You know, and that's a good thing, because I struggled with, I don't know if I struggle with hard work. I don't really struggle with I can work my ass off. It's not a problem. What I struggle with is like actually like something actually pulling my attention. That's what I struggle with. A lot of things are boring to me. And I think that's just because I was overexposed as a kid. I experienced, honestly, dude, by the time me and my wife talk about it, by the time I was 18, I probably experienced more than most adults ever will experience in their entire lives. Like, and I know that sounds some kind of way. I wasn't rich. We were definitely broke. You know what I mean? But it's just military, right? Yeah. So I experienced so much so young that things, like a lot of things that people look at and they're like, oh, that's cool. I'm just kind of like, yeah. And I hate that. I'm like, that sucks for me. Yeah. You know? But I mean, it is what it is, man. You know?
Like for me, I don't think I experienced a lot. So boring has been my like thing. So, you know, we can define hard work as in like maybe doing migrant labor work, like literally, you know, going out there and
working with your hands.
Yeah, working with your hands and stuff, right? I think what I really, really got out of my dad was a lot of discipline, a lot of just consistency of just doing something so much and so much. My dad would always instill that constantly. So I might say that I'm not a hard worker. Like I'm constantly, like if I go, like I can even reflect when I go to a gym. Sometimes I don't like work hard at the gym, but you will see me consistently be there regardless of how I feel.
How you show up. Yeah.
So what I found that has worked for me, or at least got me where I'm at least today, is it's just consistency of doing the same thing over and over and over and over in the most, you know, we could say it's boring, but you know, I don't really think about it as boring or not. I just think about it that I'm focused too much on, which is also a con. I'm too focused on the goal, and sometimes I forget about the little things, the day to day, enjoying the day.
Yep.
And then I get the goal. It's like, wait, that's not.
Yeah, you did. So you can focus on the big picture and you forget to enjoy the journey.
The journey.
Yeah, I get that. Totally understand that.
So that's what totally I got, you know, a little bit from my parents, or at least from my dad.
So that's really, you know, as you were talking, man, I'm thinking like, you know, as you're speaking about your pops, because I wasn't really raised by my pops at all. I lived with him from 13 to 16, but I mean, he worked 14 hours a day. Yeah. You know what I mean? 16. So I saw him maybe at night when he came home for like an hour or two, whatever. And then I would see him at church. And then at church, he was more involved with, you know, he's a pastor. So he was more involved in all of that. So it's like the only time I ever saw my pops was when he was with other people, really. We didn't get a lot of personal time, right?
Yeah.
But I look at my baby brother, and he is, well, I guess it's not my baby. He's my kid brother. So he's 12 years younger than me. But I look at him, and he's 25 now doing his adult thing. And him and his work ethic, because my dad just jobbed, dude. Yeah. My dad just, still to this day, that man, you know, he just fucking works. He's a cop. He just works, never complains. And when he's not at work, he's doing a side gig. He has like a lawn thing because he likes doing lawn work. So he's always doing lawn work. If he's not doing that, he's, you know, augering somebody, putting a fence post for somebody. He's doing something all the time, always working. My kid brother's like that. He is also always working. Like he's always working, jobbing.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, sometimes I talk to him and I'm just like, bro, you be working hella. And he's just like, yeah, it is what it is. And I'm just like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, and I think about nature and nurture, right?
Yeah.
So I think my nature of working like that is my pops and my mom. My mom works like a motherfucker too, but I can work, but I almost wonder if I was with my pops, if I would be a lot, because you get a lot of what you saw, right? Yeah. I didn't see that. So I'd be sitting back like, y'all motherfuckers need to relax. I'd be like, you can work hella hard, but y'all motherfuckers need to learn how to turn off. So I wonder if I would have been here with my pops like my whole life and just saw that, if I wouldn't even have that thought. Because one thing I learned from my mother, because my mom works her ass off, bro. Like, she's a little hood white girl from Oakland, and now she's like doing super good, has a great job all by herself. Yeah. Nobody helped her. Awesome. But one thing that she taught me was it's okay to just like take a day and like not do shit. Like, one thing that I love that my mom did for me, and I'll always remember it for the rest of my life, is that randomly in school, I would just be in school, and then I get called to the office, and they'd be like, hey, Dejan, grab your stuff, come to the office. And then I'd come there, and my mom would just be there in her uniform, and she'd be like, hey, we're gonna go walk around the mall and just go hang out for the day and like people watch. And I'd be like, fuck yeah, Mom.
That's awesome, though.
So she did that my entire life, man. And it's like, I still, you know, even when I'm with my mom now, like, I still look forward to just walking around. Like, I'm going to Vegas to go hang out with my mom next week just because I just like to be around her, and I don't really care what we do. Damn. So, I mean, like, I think about that nature and nurture, because, yeah, that whole thing that you spoke about is how my dad and how my brother are, and I'm not.
And, you know, I think although, like, I've been that way, like you're saying about, like, your dad, lately, I'm trying to grab some of the opposite stuff. So, for example, what you just said about your mom, just taking a day, I will say 1,000% I would recommend it to anyone that works so hard that they will appreciate their life, or at least their themselves. Yeah. If they do that. You know, I think last week I took the whole week off.
Yeah, you did. Yep, I remember.
My friend called it a staycation. Instead of really going on vacation and being out on the beach or doing whatever, you know, having some alcohol, cold beverage, whatever.
Hell yeah.
But instead, just staying in the same, you know, at your home and just kind of like doing your normal routine without work. Just go out there, enjoy the nature, and just kind of like really enjoy.
Hell yeah.
Man, that was the best vacation that I have ever taken, because I got to read my book. I got to go and hang out with my dad. We were just having a beer at the ranch. I didn't have to worry about nothing. Turned off the phone. I was like, man, I get it. I mean, I work my ass off, but honestly, you know, we do need to. It's hard to have in my opinion, it's hard to have a work-life balance like that, because it just depends what your goals are. But, you know, whatever your goal is and whatever it is, you really have to do more above and beyond than basically the people you're competing against, which is in the world, in the capitalistic economy we live in. So I don't believe in work-life balance. But once, like right now, at least for me, I am trying to balance it a little bit more because, you know, I've been thinking about my dad and my mom, and I love them to death, and I would hate the moment that they're gone. And so I want to take advantage of the time that I do have right now, because that's the only thing we can't get back.
Well, yeah, fuck yeah. I think about that now too, just life, right? My parents are they're all, every single one of them, my mom, my stepmother, and my pops now, they're all 60. I mean, that's still pretty young, but they're 60. I'm about to be 40. I'm like, my kid's 18. Yeah. I'm like, shit. All right, like, I need to start paying attention to things and like really absorbing what's around me, because I'm almost in midlife. Like, I told my daughter was, so my kid was fucking with me the other day saying something about, oh, you're old. And I looked at her, I was like, yeah, it's crazy. Half my life's up. And she was like, why would you say that? And I was just like, damn, yeah, half my life is almost up.
It's crazy.
Like, it's crazy. You know, I'm like, damn. So
I don't even want to think about it.
You know what I mean? Trying to be more present and stuff like that. Oh man, I had one thing where we were gonna go. You were talking. What were you just?
Well,
we were just talking about.
We were talking about our parents,
your parents,
about life, and then like you know, not regretting the time that we have left.
Yep, it was something I forgot. That's why I have this thing to write shit down.
But that's okay. That's okay. You know, we're having a good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. But so you know, to bring it back a little bit, I wanted to see, like, let's talk about how you went from living on a migrant farm to going to college, working with a small business, getting it from what I did a little research, and I saw one thing that I thought was pretty cool, is it said you move You moved back to Michigan and you helped grow a company from $300,000 to $18 million.
Yes.
What is that? I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. So, when I was 16, my parents got an opportunity to work for to move from Michigan, move their whole life working in the farms, to moving down here in Texas, right here, south of Texas, and working for a company that does metal buildings.
Okay.
Really the fabrication of metal buildings.
Yes.
And in the installation of them. And so that was when I was 16. So I moved when I was 16 with my parents and my two siblings.
And you moved to Joshua?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so we worked for, at that point, I was still going to high school, but after high school and the summers, my dad put me, said, hey, come and help me work in the company. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right. And so.
Let me stop you there. Before we go into that, I missed a space.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to know.
Oh, about college.
Well, I wanted to know what it was like to go from Michigan to Texas. And how much, if there was a culture shock from there, and then moving into college?
To be honest, it wasn't a culture shock.
Oh.
I think a couple of things. One, I was raised in a migrant farm. Although I went to a school that was like predominantly, I'm just going to say Caucasian.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
Predominantly that.
I'll say it.
Yeah, white folks. So yeah, I went to a school that was predominantly that, but I could not connect with the kids from school
because of how you were living every day.
Yeah, every day, Spanish speaking. You watch novelas. You're eating tortillas.
Okay, so you're not getting the American culture necessarily.
You're not getting it. You're watching soccer. Soccer's not even popular over there. It's all about football.
Yes,
it's all about baseball and track. And
yes.
So I had a hard time connecting with people over there.
Do you kind of wish, I guess not wish, but looking back, do you wish that, do you wish that you would have had a little bit more of that? Or do you feel that you did? Okay.
Not anymore now.
Yeah.
Why? Because I think it's sad to say, but the Hispanic culture, they have their pros and they have their cons.
Every culture does.
Every culture does, yes, right? So absolutely. I got to see the pros of the white folks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's amazing, like how very respectful I was never felt like it was ever racist or felt any sort of way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like
that's awesome.
Never. The community around over there is still amazing.
Hell yeah.
And how they treated their kids, I could see the pros and cons to how they treated their,
because it's very different in the way that they raise their kids and stuff, right?
Their kids
for sure,
stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then I would see the Hispanic, and there's the pros and cons. And I think connecting the dots, you start, putting into, okay, well because like right now, at least I'm thinking about it because, I want to have kids.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I want to put my kids to go and pick apples and
bro,
do the same story.
I hear that, bro. I hear you.
But yeah, so the transition wasn't hard because when I got here, all of a sudden we're in the Metroplex, and here's like
tons of Hispanics everywhere.
Tons of Hispanics. Yeah. All of a sudden you got a lot of Mexican restaurants. You got like the grocery stores that are Hispanic. It's like, holy crap!
So it's almost like you could breathe bigger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I started to connect so fast.
That's awesome,
my network started to build so fast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So transition definitely wasn't hard.
That's cool, man. Wow.
And I still love it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I had the exact opposite experience.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have such a hard time here.
Because you moved from, where was your mom at, in California?
So it doesn't, dude, I went to
your parents?
I moved here from Japan.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And then before Japan, I was in Wisconsin. And then before that, I was in Maryland. Before that, I was in like Florida and New Mexico and like,
Whoa.
But yeah, a bunch of other places. I had
That's
tons
amazing
of influences.
though, in a way.
Oh, it's great. No, like So the positives are amazing. I used to hate the fact that I was so different, but now that I'm older, I really appreciate the view of the world that I have because it's so, I don't know, man, like I don't have any hangups, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like nobody really bothers me. Like your culture could be completely different from mine, and there could be a part of your culture that straight up just rubs against who I am as a person.
Yeah.
And just because of how you guys operate, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because I understand that it's just a different culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really, I enjoy that. But as a kid, brother, look, bro, I can't, dude, I came here from Japan, like smiley and all bright and bubbly. And then I came here and I went to Crowley. I went to CMS and North Crowley, and it's majority black folks and Hispanic folks. Bro, I got made fun of so hard. It was bad.
Dang.
I didn't have any friends, dude. Like the only friends, actually, you know what? The friends that I had, they were all from other countries. Most of my friends that I made friends with were foreigners. Because I had that, even though I wasn't technically a foreigner.
Yeah.
I had that foreign experience because I moved so much, bro. You know, so it's like most of my friends. I remember when I was a kid, we started this little thing called FPP. It was Foreign People Pride.
Oh my God.
So all my friends were like from Guatemala, Mexico, Italy, Korea, Japan.
Interesting.
We had one dude that was from Poland. Like, yeah. And we were all just a bunch of foreign kids. And guess what? We all played soccer.
So you play soccer?
Fuck yeah, I played soccer. What? I played a hardcore. That was the only sport I played. I played all the way up until I hit high school. And then some crazy shit happened with me and my dad. So I stopped.
I didn't know that, and I'm always telling you I play soccer. So I'm actually recruiting. So if you're,
look, bro,
if your knees, your knees so good,
don't put me on the spot. But yeah, man. So I had it's interesting because I love that you had such a cool, easy transition, and it makes a lot of sense coming from Michigan to Texas, being Hispanic. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So then when you got here when you're 16 and you were working and you were doing the metal fab thing, how did that transition into college and then you coming back to doing it?
Absolutely. So obviously we were working for a company and my mom, who always pushed me as well. Like my mom and my dad always pushing me. Hey, you need to get a degree. You need to go to college. You need to break the cycle of us, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. And so I still keep going. You know, I get out of high school and then I go to college. But I'm also still working for the metal fab company after work or during the weekends. And obviously, you know, when you're in college, you don't really go full time. There's only 12-hour credits or whatever. So I was still working in both. And yeah, I mean, I got an accounting degree, which is the language of business. I think it was.
Yes, sir.
I did it more because my mom told me to get that because it was a secure job. Like it's like
Smart.
go for security.
Yeah,
yeah. But it actually turned out to be a really, really amazing blessing because it got me to understand, you know, the language of business, which is accounting and financials.
Okay.
So that was a blessing, which now helps me a lot.
Dude, knowing money is crazy. It's so imperative to learn how money works.
Yeah.
It's huge. Most people, that's why I have my kid going into school for business and entrepreneurship, even though she wants to be an artist, because she needs to learn the reason why people fail in business, because they don't know how to run.
Exactly. The moment you go into business, it's less about the product you're offering, and it's more about how can you, you know, build a business. Really, it's all about marketing, sales, leadership, financials, the money, how it all moves, and less about really the product and you know that you're offering. So, I mean, obviously, you have to have a great product. You have to be obsessed with your product. But when you're the owner, now all of a sudden other people will do the product. So that's crazy. That's crazy to think about it because I learned that the hard way through experience, I guess.
So let's talk about that business that you helped build, because I didn't even know that until I started doing a little research on you.
Yeah.
So give me a quick little, I don't know, little excerpt. Like, how did that work? Where'd you get that job? How'd you get hired on? What was it like? And then what did it feel like towards the end, and how did you know this was coming to an end?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I got an accounting degree. I got a really good job in Dallas, in downtown Dallas. It was really cool. My parents were really proud of me. But I just didn't feel connected with accounting. So then I only lasted like 6 months.
An accountant. Yeah. Dude, you don't give me that vibe at all. Like, I had no idea. And then when I read that, I was like, didn't see that.
Yeah, I mean, doing tax paperwork I was kind of interested in the audit side. But at some point, the company that my parents were working for, they still needed someone like at least that could help them as an operation manager.
Okay, got you.
And so they offered me double the pay from there. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So I moved back, and I think I only lasted like about 6 months to a year in the company here, when the opportunity arose in Michigan. And that was a family business owned by my uncle, another gentleman, and my cousin. My cousin was my age.
Okay.
We were both raised together. Growing up, he was the one that had like the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation.
Okay.
I always wanted.
He was the cousin that had the stuff.
That had the stuff.
Yeah.
Always hung out with him. Everything was, it's brotherly love.
Yeah.
Where even our blood is actually very, very together, because my mom is my cousin's brother, and my dad is the uncle of my cousin's mom. So our bloods are so almost like very brotherly.
Yeah.
Well, that was back in like 2017. He in an accident, he passed away. He passed away in an accident.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was probably a life-changing moment.
Fuck yeah, that's tragic, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I can see it. I can feel it over here, bro.
And I'm the kind of guys that even like when I go to funerals, I don't really cry, because I really like to just keep moving forward.
Heard.
But when I do remember, I think that's when I actually release a lot of the emotions that I bottle up, and like I just don't, because that's just how I am. I keep moving forward. So
I respect that.
But anyways, he passed away. They had a small business. It was, I think the previous, revenue that they had was like $300K. My uncle calls me and he's like, "Hey, I know you're stable in Texas. I don't know if you like Michigan anymore, but we actually need help here. Like, we really don't know." And it was a metal building business. It was basically the same model.
Okay, got you.
That of the company I was working for, but this company was big. I mean, you're talking, it was already bigger. Over there, I said, yeah, I'll definitely go. I had a mind of just going for like 4 or 5 years.
Shit.
It was my mindset. So I moved back to Michigan.
How old are you right now? Like 24?
26.
26.
25, somewhere around there.
Got you.
And I moved back to Michigan. I did not love the life there. I despised all of it, but I focused on the experience. I bought into the business immediately, so I was a part owner as well. The experience, the knowledge, growing it enough that maybe I could open up a branch over here. Like, that was the goal in like 4 years. So I was like, I'm on a mission, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I did not enjoy living over there, but I had a great experience when it came down to business and like just understanding and building it up.
Yeah.
5 years later, we hit like 18 million in revenue. So it was a pretty
wild, bro.
Pretty good ride. Yeah.
How did that feel? How did that feel to be a part of that?
I mean, it felt amazing because like, coming from being and I think the other cool part was, I basically went back to the same community, not the exact same community, but maybe like 30 minutes away or an hour away from where my school is. So being able to say, man, like drive by the migrant farms while I'm working and stuff like that.
Got you.
It's like damn,
There's nostalgia in
now, yeah, the nostalgia and being able to not actually meet my parents' dream, or at least my dad's dream. My dad's dream was for me to be a professional soccer player.
As a lot of that's funny as shit, right?
Professional sports, right? But being able to meet the dream of like, if you don't want to work here, you need to work your ass off and you can be somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then being able to accomplish that and drive
Yeah.
around there and be like, man, like this is awesome. Because like right now I don't get to see it anymore. I'm back in Dallas for work. I think the journey was great, and I think the experience is what I do appreciate a lot.
So what is it like? So one thing I hear consistently through, even from the very, very beginning, is family. Right. So a lot of things you've done is experienced through family.
Yeah.
So what is it like? I hear both sides of the argument where like working with your family is the worst thing ever. Working with your family is the best thing ever. So for you, what are a couple pros and cons that you experienced personally working through your family? And do you think that any of those pros or any of those cons come from like a cultural thing? Or is it just a general thing?
Working with family is definitely hard.
For sure.
And especially you have to know yourself, and you have to be self-aware of yourself and the relationship with the family member. If you consider to work with the family member. That's one, really understanding yourself and if you have the balls, the cojones to really draw the line and be able to enforce it.
Oh yeah, okay. I hear that.
That's what it really is.
I hear that.
If you don't have that, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
Because the lines can get a little blurred.
Yeah.
If you do have it, the biggest thing I would recommend is a prenup. Not written, but literally having a conversation saying, this is my responsibility.
Okay.
I'm not your whatever.
Yeah.
Like with
your
my
lackey or something.
And I learned it with my mom. My mom, because she also worked for the company that before I moved to Michigan.
Okay.
She worked for the company. I would walk in and she would say, I'm not your mom. I'm not related to you. So here, don't call me mom. Call me Tiva. Call me Tiva. And you show up on time. And you actually she told me, you actually even have to show up earlier than the rest, because then they're going to think your preference. If you're ever moving up in the chain or anything like that, we don't want it to be seen that there's favoritism.
Dude, right on, Mom.
Yeah, no,
Hell
yeah, absolutely,
bro.
absolutely.
Like, wow, dude, that's amazing. So right off the bat, she was like, "Here's a line.
Here's a line.
When we walked through this door, we are not family. We are coworkers."
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so setting the prenup beforehand and being able to say those things, right? Those things. Hey, if I ever have to, call you out, it's because of this. I don't want to take it personal.
Right.
However, we don't know what the other side of this how that will take it, And so, I worked with family members throughout the business that was in Michigan and the business that I have now. If I had to enforce it from there, the other person, I've had fallouts, with certain relationships.
Right.
So it's overall, I would say try not to.
If you can find something outside of family, pursue that.
As much, or even friends.
I feel like friends are even more. I'd rather do it with family than friends, I think.
Honestly, yeah. Because it's a tough one, man.
That is tough.
It's tough.
It is tough. I think that really comes down to the individuals and the conversation. Because I have a brother. Well, the guy that when I say brother, I'm generally talking about my best friend, Tony.
Yeah.
Now we can do anything together.
Yeah.
Because we've been through it together, and we're not going to screw each other over, right?
Yeah.
But I can't say that about certain family members because I don't know them. Straight up. Like I have cousins, I don't know them.
Yeah.
Like, do I know if they're going to screw me? I don't know. I would hope not. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. I hear that.
It's a tough one. I would recommend, to really just really think of how the other person would take, like really run the scenarios, like literally sit down and run the scenarios. Okay, well, if you know, and especially hierarchy and all that, like really run the scenario of the worst case scenario of what things could happen.
Right.
But I will say that if you ever go into business with someone, biggest advice I would say is think long term and set things like basically an agreement or a prenup that long term, what would happen if these kind of scenarios happen. If that way you're not getting, because like the previous business, we had a fallout in the ownership, and it didn't get ugly. I mean, in the beginning, obviously, like any breakup, but it was only like a month, and then from there, we just sat down and we just had a great conversation, and
once the feelings kind of got out of the way, right?
It just got out of the way.
Yeah.
And to this day, I mean, there's love. We communicate often from that relationship over there and the business relationship. But the biggest thing I do recommend is have something where like it just makes it so easy to break off if one doesn't do their part with the other. Do it. I highly recommend to do it. I still see a lot of partnerships coming together just because they're excited, they're best buddies or something like that,
and then their friendship just crumbles.
Yeah, and you don't think about those things like you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about, hey, we're gonna make money or we're gonna make an impact, whichever one is the motivation, and but not thinking about, okay, well, what if it doesn't work out? Who's gonna stay with the asset, or who's gonna stay with the rent? Who's gonna the liability?
So basically, kind of almost building a contract. So whenever things do happen, you don't have to worry about having feelings towards it, right?
Yes.
You're just like, look, we already have a plan. When A happens, we do this. When Z happens, we do this. When B happens, we do this. That way you don't have to worry about coming into consternation because you've already planned it. So even if it sucks for you, you're like, well, we agreed to it.
We agreed to it.
That's actually super smart. You hear that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole process of me selling my part in the business over there was the whole year. And it could have been done in like a month or two.
Damn.
And, I've never been in a divorce.
Yeah.
But I have friends that have been, or at least I hear a lot about it. And it's like, it's the worst thing.
Yeah.
I will tell you, it was kind of the whole year of just negotiating and like bringing in like expertise of like the value of the business and all that kind of stuff.
That's so annoying.
It was really annoying. I don't think it's worth it anymore after that to just fight for an extra money. Like,
I was about to say, you're spending all of this money just to embroil your soul and all a bunch of, fuck all that.
So if you have an agreement, you have that beforehand, man, you're going to keep moving, because right now time is most valuable and there's really no price to that. And then two, the time you're spending just fighting, you could be building something different, building something greater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or moving on to something greater. So that's what I learned through that process. And now I'm more and more, I've been offered like partnerships of stuff. Business, now that they see me doing what I do.
For sure.
And I already know. No. And if I do, no. I don't know if you've seen that meme from Bugs Bunny.
No, that's just so funny, bro. He was like, no, I'm good. So how did you go from that? And then tell me how Wolf Steel began. Like from the ground up, what happened? How'd that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in Michigan 4 or 5 years in. I just didn't feel like, I wanted to expand the business in different ways. And we didn't align the vision of our partner ownership. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, plus I don't want to be in Michigan. So let me just move back and be in Texas. Mm-hmm. And I want to be back home. I want to be next to my parents. I miss them so much. I miss my siblings. Yeah. I miss Texas.
Okay.
I love everything about Texas, or any place that is it has where I can connect, and I connect with the Hispanic Latino community. I said, well, let me go back to Texas. One of the very first things I thought about was like, let me just open up a similar company. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, or how I was thinking, is like, I need to solve a bigger problem, and I need to do something that's bigger than that. And a lot of my clients were always complaining about, like that they would, because what we used to do in the previous businesses is like we just sell the metal building. That's it.
Heard.
And so we would just fabricate them and install them. But the client had to get their own concrete. They had to get their own permits. They had to do their own grading. They had to do their own installation. And even like custom doors and windows, if they wanted them, they had to get them themselves.
Got you.
Even run their own electrical if they wanted to, build a shop, which most of the cases, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I was like, well, it's a lot tougher because it's a whole different model.
There's a lot more logistics going on.
Yeah, a lot of logistics going on. And to this day, it's not easy. I've seen, some competitors try to replicate, but it's going to be, you really got to be really on your game and change your thinking if you come from a metal building, just specific metal builder industry.
So is that where I saw this quote that I wanted to say because it kind of hit me pretty hard.
Quote.
Yeah, I saw a quote. It said, there's a line in your Wolf Steel website that I saw that said, we got into the metal business because we don't like the metal building business.
Yes.
That's what you're specifically talking about right now?
Exactly. Yeah. Because in the previous business, clients would call me and they'd be like, I got water seeping in all inside of my garage. Like, what the fuck?
For sure.
And I was like, okay, well, how did you do your concrete? And, maybe we had a part into it and maybe your concrete guy had a part into it. So now there's a lot of pointing fingers. Because the moment that the client hires like two different players to come in and do, the client's generally considered the GC. So they're responsible. They should have, been in charge of the whole thing. So now we take on that responsibility of like, just you tell us what you envision and you don't have to worry. You just go work, and you'll come back home and then all of a sudden you got a metal building completely the way with no problems, et cetera.
So for your clients, if there's anybody in here that comes to this based off of your YouTube, just wanted to know more about you and stuff.
Yeah.
So for somebody who is getting a building, or is interested in one, when somebody comes to you wanting a building, what do they usually not understand?
What do they not understand when they're trying to buy
a building? What is it generally where they're saying like, oh, I want this, and you have to be like, well, da 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 da, and they're like, what?
Well, I'm gonna put myself like, say you're asking me like, hey, I want a metal building, and then I'm gonna be like, okay. One thing to really like you have to understand is like, number one is like really understand if you can even have a metal building on your property. Sometimes they don't allow you.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And then two, just make sure that we're also planning for everything that goes around it, because the eye catcher is definitely the metal building. Because the problem you're really trying to solve is like, say you want to build a gym, right? And you don't want to be spending that going to a gym. You're wanting to build your own, in your backyard.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, well, now we also got to think that you need a foundation, you need grading work. And then if your permits require engineering, that just shoots up the price, because now you got to get an engineer involved.
See, I'm not even thinking, you already said three things that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
Grading, engineer. I didn't even think about any of that.
And metal buildings are hot as
For sure.
So it's just like, it'll boil inside. So you got to have insulation. So insulation is actually pretty pricey, and can add around like 20% to the price of your project just for insulation. You have to think about insulation as well. Unless you want to work out like somewhere like you want to build a gym like Metroflex.
Yeah.
Like,
just
it's
cooking.
all raw.
It's all cooking, bro. Yeah, hell yeah.
So then yeah. I mean, but if you're a city boy and you need the air conditioning.
Hey, look, if I get a metal bed, I'm getting fucking insulation. Fuck all that. Hell to the nah.
So that's those are the things, the electrical, and then like running electrical from your nearest source. There's a lot that goes into all that. And so when you're looking for a metal building, one of the things that's still happening in the market is that when you go and search, you'll probably 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, you're gonna find a metal building company that does just the metal building. And so when you talk to them, they're going to say, okay, yeah, you just have to get your own concrete. You have to hire your local concrete contractor.
Yeah.
You have to hire, your own electrician.
Right.
You have to hire all that.
And they're kind of just glaze over it like it's not a big deal, right?
Yes. Because that's right now, that's how it is, like on search or anything. If you do a search right now and you just investigate, like that's really what it is.
Okay.
That's what makes us a little bit more unique.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying we're the only ones, but 2 out of 10 that you will find will do what we do.
Okay.
So we're a
little unique on that one.
We're unique.
That's why you're pretty, because it also seems from everything that I've seen that you're pretty big on the education for your clients as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And that has helped us a lot more to build trust. And so a lot of it has been, the mission is our mission is to help educate our clients to have an amazing metal building experience.
Hell yeah.
So that's regardless whether they buy from us or they buy from somewhere else. That way the metal building industry can continue to become something that isn't like a, what do you call, like a disaster or like scary, like you invest, because it's a lot, like clients pay a lot of money to do a metal building project on average with the whole thing, everything shebang, everything we're talking about. You're going to be spending around $60,000 on average for something basic.
Yeah.
$60,000.
That's minimum.
That's minimum, like including grading,
insulation,
electrical, insulation. I mean, you can literally go down to 40, but those are just some shitty metal buildings.
He's like, not knocking. It's a good, but that's funny as shit.
Well, I mean, the way I see it, it's still a lot of money.
Well, if you're gonna do it, I am one to say that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yes.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to. Things we learn from our fathers. This is one thing that I learned from my father. And Pops, if you're watching this, I love you. But man, you need to stop going to the homie across the street. You need to go to the reputable dude and spend a little bit more money on the shit you get done. Because my dad will get stuff done by the homie and then have to keep getting it redone instead of just, I've learned from him, like, I'm just going to go spend that 50% more just so it's done the right way and I don't have to worry. And I might even get a warranty, so I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we tell our clients. I mean, you can definitely find like a local, get your own concrete and do it yourself. The outcome, unless you have construction experience, the outcome should be good.
Right.
But if you don't have that, that's really what you're paying for, at least with us.
Got you.
The outcome, the system. Dang, I'm already selling here.
Not even, man. Not even. I'm talking. This is like legit, like interesting stuff, man. We're just talking. I mean, you are. I could definitely see you. I did hear a switch into pitch voice.
Pitch voice. My sales. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I'm.
But I mean, this is normal. You talk about this, like you're just going into mode, right?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
No, I mean, and at the same time, like I'm, just kind of outside of the business. Outside of just selling and stuff or like being on YouTube. I'm a sales. I'm not a sales. I'm a leader, so I have to have the skills to help others in our team and develop them and help them, bring them up, so I have to. And so kind of that's why I guess my thing changed, because at the same time I've had to do these kind of trainings and stuff like that. But,
all right. So now that we're talking, I'm not trying to sell, or I'm here in my selling thing, right? So that I have something. So one thing I also read across your site, I kept reading through your stuff.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is the difference between selling somebody and selling somebody a building versus guiding somebody through a build?
I really don't know the difference because I'm not great at selling or sales. However, people have told me like, hey, I think you can sell really well. But I think it's more because I think it more comes from where it comes from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
If the
That's
inside,
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if the inside comes in like, hey, look, I'm just here to like guide you and help you, whether you buy from me or whether you don't buy from me. I just want you to like, I would hate for you just to have like a bad experience.
Yes.
And you worked your ass off to put in $60,000 on your project.
Yes.
And then it's just gonna suck. So at least that's what I tell others, is like, as long as from the inside you come from a good heart and you're not really just trying to like close the deal and keep moving.
Yeah, hell yeah.
If in the inside you have to really understand, I'm just trying to help and I'm just trying to be, that's why I do think that if you are in sales and you are selling a product that is shit and you don't really believe in it, I don't think you should be there. I think you should find a company that has a product that you believe in, that you really know will help people, and really do your research that you are helping people, because it would just come out naturally and you'll feel and you'll live in peace. You know what I mean?
Bro, yes.
And that's one of the biggest things for us and at our company is like, I don't care if we got to lose money, if the clients, if it just, we did not do the right thing and our clients not happy with what they spent, then if that means we got to redo it, we got to redo it. And trust me, I've gone through.
You just went through that, right?
I've gone through bad things. I mean, it's hard because, you're running an organization where like you're managing, over 100 people. And one person can do something wrong that can just create a chain that fucks up the whole situation of the project. So that's why construction and construction management is so key, to have control and systems, and you gotta have that like hard hand of like, nope, if it doesn't follow the process, the system I set in place, do not.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's just one little thing. You know?
And then when you're talking about the selling too, like I totally understand that from a personal experience, because anytime like I work for a company and there's like, well, I cut hair, so like product sales and stuff like that. I generally am like the top, if not the number one. I'm within the top thing, and people will be like, "How do you sell? How do you sell? How can you teach somebody to sell?" And I tell them straight up, I'll be like, "I don't sell." That's how I sell. And when they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just talk about the product. I just talk about it. I educate them, tell them why I'm using it, what I'm using it for, what's inside of it, why I like it. And it's coming from inside. So they're just like, well, shit, I won't even say, do you want it? They'll just be like, hey man, what was that stuff? Can I grab some? And I'll be like, yeah, man, for sure. Like, and also it's just like, if I'm not, when I'm selling something, I'm genuinely like, if you don't want it, I'm not gonna force it on you, dude. Like, it's okay.
Like, for example, like when I come here and I get a haircut, like you always make me feel really comfortable. Number one, like it just feels so genuine, so comfortable. So I think that also helps. And two, you're always asking a lot of questions. So you're really trying to find out, what am I really trying to accomplish? And so by knowing what going back to the question of like selling and guiding, is like by really, really knowing what the client really wants and just offering them what they need. That's really helping, right? And I think you do that a lot to me. Like, for example, the other day, I was telling you about the hair product of like how to control it or whatever. And then you said, well, look, man, this is what because you're allowing me to speak and like just giving my problem. You're just helping me find a solution to my problem. And I think that's I was just at least connecting with what you're saying. Is like, that's actually also how I guide and help. Is I think that's what you also do.
As you're saying that, you're, without even realizing what I'm doing, you're right. What I'm doing is trying to get you to figure out your own answer, just trying to fill in the blanks that you don't have, so you can get there yourself. Because I'm not trying to control you. I want you to figure out your own life. I just have the knowledge that you lack. So let me give this to you so you can walk down the yellow brick road yourself. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Ooh, that's nice.
That's a gold nugget right there.
Yeah, man. That was good.
If that clip goes into a short, that
was a good one, dude.
That thing is gonna blow up.
Fuck yeah, bro. Like, right on, dude. I love that. All right, man. So now that you have Wolf Steel, like, what does that feel like to have that, and how long have you been growing it? Because I don't even know that. And then how does it feel to be where you're at? Because I know from our own personal conversations, you have just kind of transitioned into a place where your business is almost a little self-sustainable at this point. So how does that feel? And we kind of spoke about it a little bit, but what are you doing now? What is the next?
It's been, we started in 2022. 2022, around April, May. So it's already going to be 4 years. It's already 4 years as of last month, So it's been 4 years. We've already surpassed the at least revenue wise. Oh yeah, way surpassed
Let's
the
go,
previous
bro.
business when I left. So yeah. Thanks.
Fuck yeah, man. Come
Thanks
on,
to our
dude.
team though. Like
Come
thanks
on,
to our
man.
team are definitely a lot. I love our team. I love the culture there.
Fuck yeah.
Our executives are amazing. The people there. Yeah, so I think I really, really enjoy the company. I actually really, really enjoy it. I'm really proud of it.
Fuck yeah.
And now it's gone to the point where I don't get the calls from contractors anymore, which I probably should make calls to them more often. I don't get the after, that I was in the first 3 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So this has now been more stable where like I'm really now embracing my new role, which is being more of the visionary and just focused on protecting the culture, protecting our values, protecting what it means to represent Wolf Seal and what it means to buy a Wolf Seal product.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go.
And that's my job.
Fuck
and
yeah.
like where we're going. So a lot of that is just really listening to our clients, listening what their struggles are, and continuing to improve the experience and the product, and also our people, developing them so they can rise with me. Because one of the things, the reason why I started, like I named it Wolf, is because one time I did like a spirit animal test. Like
Hell yeah.
Let's
fucking go.
Those spammy.
I love that shit. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's like a little spammy thing that came up on Facebook.
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
fuck it. I might get a virus and Trojans.
Who cares?
Whatever. Yeah,
I want to know.
It all came down that my spirit animal is a wolf.
Fuck yeah.
And part of it is because I think maybe from actually my culture of like family and culture of a team, I always care about like the people around me that I love.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, Wolf Steel sound like Wolf and then Steel. And then, I want to build, one of our core values is pack. We win as a pack and we lose as a pack.
Hell yeah.
So we take care of our pack.
Fuck yeah.
And so one of the challenges that I have now is that our company is growing so fast, and some teammates from our company need to develop at that speed. So my question that I have in my head is, I can either go and bring in new packmates that can, fill in the need of the company.
Yeah.
Or I dedicate my time to push them, to develop them,
Right.
to grow them.
Yeah.
And to keep up so they can also, get the fruits of the company as it's growing. Because, unfortunately, a $10 million company is not going to be the same as a $100 million company, which we're moving towards.
Hell yeah.
It requires a different type of skill set. It requires a different, type of leadership. And so that's currently my struggle. And, but I think we're making progress. I started a book club. We started now reading in the mornings, especially with the people that wanted to be a part of it.
Right.
And those kind of things. And also a little bit more involvement, like having coffee, giving them,
Okay. So you're taking on more of a nurturing role.
Yes. Nurturing role.
You're like Big Daddy.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, that's why you always ask me like, why don't I have kids yet or stuff?
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
got kids. Yeah.
Now I want kids because now I'm more stable.
Yes.
But I want to be able to be like my dad, where my dad spent so much time with me. Going to all my soccer games.
I hear that.
I want to be that.
I hear that.
I don't want to have the business,
taking away from that.
Yeah. So I think I'm getting to that stage where I'm already thinking of those kind of things.
Yeah.
And I want to get moving into that direction. But then I always tell you, like, I have a lot of kids already.
Yeah.
In a way, it sounds that way.
No, dude, I get that.
But it's a tough one. But I think right now I'm really, really invested into trying to develop our team because they were loyal to me and I want to be loyal to them. And I at least say that, hey, I gave my best to try to get you up. The ones that take advantage, great. The ones that don't, I mean, it's I can't hurt everybody else because they chose not to, which actually is actually a good thing. I actually do respect people that don't want to climb the corporate ladder, that want to spend more time with their family, that just don't want to like struggle like that. Because it's a
lot of sacrifice.
It's a lot of sacrifice.
A lot of sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, what if you're an entrepreneur, like even a leader, the only difference between the ones that are rising and the ones is the one who actually puts more time into it. It's like practice. Whoever practices more, studies more, does that more. Yes, definitely. So how do we do that by balancing our life? I don't think it's possible.
Yes.
I don't think it's possible to balance it. You have to put in the extra nights.
Well, I think the balance, because I had another guy on here who is a barber teacher. Yeah. His name is Leche. Yeah. Right? And I had the thought. I was like, maybe I wonder if it's a Hispanic, if it's a cultural thing, because he said the exact same thing that you said. That life, there is no balance, right? Yeah. And I don't really hear that in my world. Right? Like I don't hear like there is no life balance. It's always about finding the balance, right? Yeah. So I'm almost wondering, and if anybody from any other cultures, please, like I would love, because I'm super curious now. Yeah. Because you said the exact same thing that he did almost verbatim. Right. Dang. Like and he's also an entrepreneur, has his own stuff. And he explains that he doesn't believe in a life balance because you have to put everything here and everything there. And I remember arguing against that because I was like, to me, you have a life balance. Yeah. Your life balance is I'm going to bust my ass here. Then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go swing over here. Yes. And I'm going to have my family. And then I'm going to put all of this here. And then I'm going to put all of this here. So it may not be a balance in a way that they talk about it nowadays where 25% here, 25, blah, 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 blah. But to me, because I'm a big picture guy, if I zoom out, you're balanced. You're just balanced in a different manner. You're balanced over time. Yeah. I totally agree. So so I see that as a balance. I just think it's a macro balance. Yeah. It's not a micro balance.
Yeah, micro is like daily, like, well, now I got to get off at 4 because, I have to balance it out, right? Yes. Macro, what you're saying is phenomenal because that's literally how my life has been. It's been like sacrifice. And now, I mean, our company last year, we hit, I think a little over 24 in revenue. And so now like my mind is now shifting to like, okay, that macro, like you're saying, put all into this, 3-4 years, get to that level where like now I'm a little ahead. Okay, now I can put a little bit more balance into relationship.
Yes,
and like kids
exactly.
And spending more time with my parents.
Exactly, dude.
The only challenge that can be when we do that is like, say I lost my dad or my mom or something like that during this stage. I think it would be devastating for me.
It would be, but that's the sacrifice though. You can't do see, that's life though.
Yeah, that's life.
You can't control shit that you can't control.
Though. Thank God
that you still have them. Yeah. Because I talk about that too with Chelsea, because I want to start, my own business, right? And then I really want to quickly expand that franchise, right? I'm trying to, every 2 years, I want to open up another shop. I also want to open up a couple here, and then I want to swing over to Vegas because that's my hometown. And I want to open up one in Vegas, right? Yeah. And if I can, I want to open one up in Northern Cali because that's where my other family is, right? And then possibly even open one on the East Coast because that's where my other family is. Yeah. So in my mind, because I'm so spread out because of the nature of my life, I want to have different things in different places so I have a reason to go to these places and keep those relationships alive. Right?
That makes sense.
And Chelsea and I talk about it, and we talk about in the beginning how we have you said prenup earlier, right? we talk about this and be like, okay, so we understand that for my 40s, I'm gonna be fucking jobbing. Like my focus is gonna be building. And she said, okay, I need you to make sure that even though you're building, I need 10% of your time to just be me and our family. And you need to make sure that you give me that for this little bit of time throughout every year. I need 10% of your time, 15% of your time, and everything else can be work, but I need this. And so that's balance It's building that balance, building that prenup, building that understanding, and that this is what we're doing. Bro, I fucking love this conversation.
Yeah. No, and absolutely, because like if you think, like if I'm getting in your shoes, right, that 15%, and maybe, you know, you love working out, right? Maybe that sacrifices your working out.
Absolutely.
Because you now have another priority, which will like take over. You just have to make a decision, right?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even the last 3 years, I love working out. You know, before Wolf Seal, and like then I would actually put in a lot of time for that. But lately, you know, I just didn't, and now I'm back onto it because now I have a little bit more time.
Hell yeah!
And it's just priorities, right? So that's what it takes.
It does.
I think that's what it takes, at least to what has worked for me. Like I always say, it's just what works for me, what has worked for me. That's what I feel like it takes. But
I mean,
it might be different for other people.
I don't really think so. I think there's there's outliers. There's always outliers.
Yeah.
There's this guy, Malcolm Gladwell, that wrote a book called Outliers. It's amazing. It's a sociology book. It just talks about how certain people are born, and they're born at the right time or within the right circumstances to be able to propel them into things easier than other people.
Okay.
That's outliers.
Yeah.
That shit is 2% of the world, right? But what you're saying and what we're talking about and what Leche said and like other entrepreneurs that I listen to, and I have a podcast. I've been listening to talk radio since I was 12. I fucking love it, right? Everything I've consistently heard is that.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You have to bust your ass. Your focus has to be this. Sometimes things have to go by the wayside in order for you to build. I think the difference is going into there, knowing where you want to be. And then once you reach that point, pivoting and adjusting to balance instead of running further into that, like trying to achieve, because then that's when you lose your family. You have diminishing returns because you're not happy on the inside and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think being very intentful over a long period, over a macro period of time to make sure that you're maintaining that balance. Yeah. I think if you're not around people who are entrepreneurs who are having this conversation, it's real easy to forget that and just keep pushing.
That. Yeah.
To forget to find the balance, because then it becomes about achieving, and it becomes about like, I feel like you can slip into saying, okay, my success is who I am, instead of being my success is a part of who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. In my 20s, I was that. Like, success is who I am, not a part of who I am. Now I'm working on making it a part of who I am, but not necessarily who I really am.
Yeah. Because one thing also, Leche said this one time is when we was teaching a class, he was asking people, who are you? And somebody would say, oh, I'm a husband. Well, what happens if your wife dies? Who are you? Oh, well, I'm a father. Well, what happens if your kids dies?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a barber. Well, what happens if you lose your hands?
Yeah.
Who are you? And I was just like, yeesh.
Dang.
It's a good one.
You got to go deeper.
Yeah.
And really, who are you?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
I know. I mean, I feel like I know who I am. I'm a guy who shows up.
Yeah.
I show up, even if I fucking don't want to.
Yeah.
I'll show up. You know what I mean? Like if I know something has to be done for the team or for somebody I care about, I might just be like, fuck you, Adbeel, I don't want to fucking do this while I'm doing it with you.
But that's who you are.
Because I show up. That's just who I am, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you have managed to get into my heart, I will forever be there for you. You just got to deal with the words that come out of my mouth while I'm doing it with you. That's the trade-off. You know what I mean? But dude, we've been talking for an hour and a half.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro.
It's been going.
So I want to close it down, but I want to bring it to one thing, man. I want to ask you this one question.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done and people are not talking about buildings you put up, but the way you've moved through your life, what do you hope they say about who Adbeel Cabrera built and who he is?
That's a great question. I don't really think that, well, as far as what people will think or see, I can't control it, right? Mm-hmm. But now I move in the way of like, what would my son or my daughter see of me?
Okay.
That's how I move.
Yeah. All right. I'm with that.
That's been like the last year. Again, the shift in the business has allowed me to focus more on me and allowed to like really get control of who am I outside of business. And And so now I think of like what my future daughter, my future son would think of me when the day I die. I want to be known as, man, the inspiration. I want to be known as inspiration of like how to live, how to reach what you want to accomplish, and a great example for my future kids.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And also like just that I made other people's lives better.
Awesome. That's my next thing. When it comes to outside of your family, I'm not asking if you care about what other people think. I'm asking if somebody were to read, or if somebody were to give, let's just get, okay, if you died and somebody was giving you eulogy, what do you hope they would say about you?
The same. Someone that inspired others, someone that planned their life. Like I really have.
Like you were
I feel like strategic.
Yeah.
Someone that just made the people around them better.
Fuck yeah.
Like I do that whether, with love and like regardless of whether they will like what I have to say at that moment or do. I mean, it's hard for me because I don't like confrontation, or at least I was raised in that kind of way. But now moving forward and going on forward, I'm more moving in that direction in the sense of like, since I've already, like I tell people, I can't tell you how to live your life or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you that if you want to accomplish at least what I have accomplished, this is what it's going to be. And right now you're not doing that.
Heard.
So just as long as, if you want what I want, what I have or what I've accomplished, this is what it's going to take.
Yeah.
But if you don't want what I have accomplished, then don't do what I'm doing.
Then don't do what I'm doing. Yeah, absolutely.
So if I was to die one day, that's what I think I would like, is like that people that actually want to accomplish what I accomplished, I could teach them or at least inspire them, and that I made their lives better. Yeah. That's a great question, man. I really haven't fully thought of it, but now, like, again, I think I move more like being an example for my future kids. Like I move in that direction, like, Well,
what I hear is that you want to leave a legacy of growth.
Yeah.
Like I grew and I grow, and people around me grow.
Yeah.
Because I water people.
Yeah.
And I lay seeds and I water their seeds if they want to be watered.
Perfect words, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
100%. And that's why I like you. That's why I like you, bro. Because I felt that. I mean, I feel like because I've met so many different people in the world, like I have a pretty good judge of character pretty off the bat, not even off of talk, just off of energy, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, you have good energy, man. I like the way you move.
Your energy is amazing.
Stop.
I love hanging or at least being around. I think that's why when like you cut my hair, and then from there I just stuck, and it's been a year already.
It's been a year, bro.
Yeah, It's been a year.
It's been a year.
I just stuck. I come in and you feed me so much positive energy. I walk out and I'm in good vibes and like
right
that
back
energy.
at you, bro. Right back at you.
So thank you.
Right back at you, dude. No, thank you, bro. Right back at you. That's why I have like you, and there's another guy, Javed. I kind of have your appointments at the beginning of my day because at least I like y'all. So when I start my day, at least I start my 2 busiest days, I started with people I enjoy.
That's awesome.
So yeah, no, man, right back at you, bro. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming on the pod, man.
No, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Fuck yeah. I appreciate that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And then I will, like I said, like I run these things, man. I'll have my buddy Habib, shout out to Habib. He'll edit everything and then I'll send it to you, man. And you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, I'll give you my information if you want to put like my email.
No, absolutely. I want to do all of that stuff. So.
One of the things that I'm thinking about doing in the near future is I'm just really, really trying to figure out my why before I do things. Because like I don't just do things without knowing my why, because that way I can get up the next day and I'll know why I'm doing it.
I love that.
Lately, the thing that has been like brewing and is really helping. I'll help anyone, watch whatever content I'll produce or anything, I'll help anyone. But really my kind of a focus is more on the Hispanic, or at least the people that come from nothing.
Yeah.
To be able to be, navigate through being able to accomplish like a leadership position
Fuck
or an entrepreneurial route.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I plan to do in the near future.
Yeah.
I don't know how soon, but it's still brewing, and that's my why. Like, a little bit of my why there, but I'm still defining it. So I'll give you my information if anybody wants to send me an email just to have a conversation. I'm always open to helping or giving guidance of anything.
Yeah, hell yeah. You can also, I just had a thought. I cut a guy who works, I don't know if he still works there, but he works for the Business Bureau, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. That's what it is.
Yeah,
the
really?
Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. So
what's his name?
I got her. Dude, I see so many people. I know his face.
Yeah.
I know his name when it pops up on my schedule, but I can't remember.
Probably seen him or talked to him.
Yeah. Next time I cut his hair, I'll make sure that I keep that log in. I try to do that. Because there's so many people. That's one thing that I love is the thing that I've learned that I love about one thing that I love in life is knowing so many people and creating the connections and watching them fucking take the fuck off. And I'm just like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, that's bad.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
But that actually, if that's what you're trying to do, maybe hooking up with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and you can help those people because they're involved with those people that they're Hispanic that are starting businesses. Because I think that's wonderful. I think that's great that you're trying to help your community fucking grow. Like, what the fuck? Like, why wouldn't you do that? That's fucking amazing. I love that. So,
but I'm also competitive. So that's why I've been holding it back because like, I want to grow the company more.
That's called.
I'm competitive. At the end of the day,
What would that be? Humility? I don't know. Like, because I feel that because it's like, when you say that, I'm like, okay, so what if I started my own business and I help somebody else start a business and they start doing better than me? Ooh.
Well, not necessarily that they do better than me. That's me. It's more like my competitors watching and understanding how I think and how I do things, and then they apply it to their business, and then they're all of a sudden, not necessarily like, for example, if you and I sat down, I would gladly. I don't care if you surpass me. That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
I just don't want you to come and
take your ideas.
Take my business down. Does that make sense?
No,
like another metal building company. If you're a competitor and you're watching, because you might be watching because you might look up who Adbeel Cabrera is, right? On YouTube or on a podcast or whatever. That's the only thing that's holding me back. But I did get a good feedback from Patrick David. He said, hey man, if the ideas you put out today and in a week from now, you don't have newer ideas or newer ways to elevate, you're still gonna get outperformed. So basically saying that.
Damn,
that was crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
There's this app where you can like pay like a certain amount of money and they can respond to your specific question. And I asked him that question and he said, if your ideas that you put on the podcast or stuff and you can't think of new ones, you can't elevate your game, then you're still gonna go out of business or you're still gonna get outperformed. So it's almost like we always have to be. So I'm not concerned about it anymore. I think I've gone through that cycle. I think right now it's just more like I'm more focused on my leadership. Yeah. But once I got them rolling, I think that's when I start.
So that's a frame of mind.
Yeah, it's a frame of mind.
That's a frame of mind.
Everything is between our ears, man. That's where we are. It's crazy, bro. This could go on for 3 hours. I know.
Oh yeah, but, bro. We can keep talking. We'll just have you on again. Next time we'll have you on again in a few months or something like that, and then we'll talk business or something.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? Something like that, and we'll just have a
Absolutely.
conversation about that because I like the brainstorming. And you're right. I physically was just like, oh, we need to shut this down because I'm like, we'll go for another hour, and I'm trying to keep my. We're already at an hour and a half. I try to keep them at an hour. So, bro, I'm going to leave it on that. I'm going to put all of his information in the description. I'll link his website. I'll link his YouTube. I'll link any information right in the comments. He'll have access to it so he can answer to that. Please reach out to him. Amazing dude. If you need any metal fab work, please go check him out. At least let him talk to you because I promise you, if you let him talk to you, you're done. You're cooked. You're getting it. All right, man. Any last words for the audience?
No, cool. Other than thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to sit here, man. And it was a great experience, and hopefully this can help someone.
So
thank you.
Peace out, y'all.